Hello and welcome to another video from World of Racing. Today, we are going to take a look at one of F1's most popular tracks, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, which hosts the Canadian Grand Prix. Did you know that before this circuit was constructed, there was still an annual Grand Prix in Canada? The Circuit Gilles Villeneuve first hosted an F1 race in 1978, 10 years after the first F1 race in Canada. Before being moved to the current track, which is in Montreal, 2 races were held at the Circuit Mont-Tremblant in Toronto, whilst 8 races were held at Mosport Park in Quebec. The decision was made to move to a new F1 track in Montreal after the 1977 race at Mosport Park saw several dangerous incidents during the practice and qualifying sessions, which were attributed to the outdated safety measures at the circuit, which was built in the late 1950s. The location chosen to hold the new track was Notre Dame Island in Montreal, which is located within the Parc Jean Drapeau, a park named after the mayor of Montreal who organized Expo 67. The Expo 67 was a World's Fair held in the area, and it was considered to be a great success. Notre Dame Island, which is where the F1 track is located, is an artificial man-made island that was built for Expo 67, as well as to celebrate Canada's 100th anniversary. The circuit, which was originally called the Ile Notre Dame Circuit, was built in 1978, and it was ready to host its first race the same year. The circuit is in the middle of the St. Lawrence River and is a temporary track that uses roads that were modified and combined. The circuit is open to the public when the race is not taking place. The fact that it is on an artificial island means that the surface is very flat, and the circuit has one of the smallest elevation changes in F1 at just 5.2 meters. The first race at the circuit was the 1978 Canadian Grand Prix, and it was won by Canadian driver Gilles Villeneuve. As of today, this race remains the only time that a Canadian Grand Prix at the track has been won by a Canadian driver. Villeneuve tragically died in a crash at the 1982 Belgian Grand Prix, leading organizers to rename the circuit the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the 1982 race. The name has remained ever since, and the track has hosted races in most years. The 1982 event was overshadowed by the death of Italian driver Riccardo Paletti, who had a high-speed crash at the start of the race. The race grew in significance during the late 1990s, as it became the only F1 race in North America until 2000. The race had the same importance between 2008 and 2011. The track has a short start-finish straight where the cars kink to the right. The drivers then face the 2 turns, which forms an S shape. This has led this section to be known as the Senna S, named after legendary Brazilian driver Ayrton Senna. The drivers then go through the first true hairpin of the lap at turns 4 and 5. Turn 6, which is a long right-handed curve, is taken at full throttle. Turn 7 quickly leads into the track's 8th turn, which is known as the Droit du Casino corner. It is a very fast corner, and it comes after a bridge underpass. After a left turn, the drivers arrive at the track's 2nd hairpin, which is known as the pits hairpin, and leads to the circuit's longest straight, which is a great overtaking zone when the drivers have DRS support. The drivers then go through turns 14 and 15, trying to avoid the famous Wall of Champions. This wall was given this nickname after the 1999 Canadian Grand Prix, which saw 3 former F1 World Drivers' Champions crash into the wall. Damon Hill, Mika Hakkinen, and Jacques Villeneuve all hit the wall. The wall is the site of many crashes as the drivers push so hard into the final turns. Due to the fact that it is in a park, the circuit has a unique factor, with groundhogs often lurking around the circuit, and sometimes interfering in sessions. Most recently, Romain Grosjean struck a groundhog during practice for the race in 2018, resulting in damage to his car's front wing. The track has seen its fair share of notable events over the years. The 2007 race was Lewis Hamilton's first race win. Hamilton has since gone on to become the first driver to win over 100 F1 races and equal Michael Schumacher's tally of 7 drivers' championship titles. During this 2007 race, Robert Kubica suffered a very dramatic crash that sent his car flipping around, which resulted in him spraining his ankle and suffering a concussion, causing him to miss the next race. Kubica won the Canadian Grand Prix the following year, which was his first and only F1 race win. He also became the first Polish driver to win an F1 race. The race wasn't held in 2009 for the first time since 1987 due to the entrance of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to the calendar, but it returned in 2010 with a new contract. The race in 2011 was and remains the longest F1 race ever, lasting over 4 hours, including a long red flag period. The race had a very dramatic ending as Jenson Button managed to pass Sebastian Vettel on the final lap. The 2013 race saw tragedy as a marshal was killed after being run over by a recovery vehicle. It was the first F1 trackside death in over 20 years. The 2019 race ended in controversy when Sebastian Vettel crossed the line first, but Lewis Hamilton took the win after Vettel received a time penalty for leaving the track, which many fans felt was unfair. The race was not held in 2020 or 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but the circuit returned on the 2022 schedule, and it is expected to remain a mainstay on the calendar in the future. The race has been won a record 7 times by both Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher, and was also the location of Daniel Ricciardo's first win in 2014. What are your thoughts on the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve? Leave a comment in the comment section down below, and if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button as well. Share it with your friends or your enemies, but by all means, do something. Stay safe and happy racing.